With YouTube attacking alternative media, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon for just $1 per month. Link below. You know, being a YouTuber is, or I should not say, not so much even being a YouTuber, being an internet personality with any modicum of a following is an awesome thing. It really is. Like people, like earlier I showed the guy who sent me the Star Wars, bib and burp rag for my daughter, handmade. It's awesome. People are some of the most amazing people you can find. And you meet them a lot more when you have a following, right? But there's also a dark, dangerous side to that. And that's something that doesn't get a lot of play, doesn't get a lot of discussion. And that is highly, highly unfortunate. Because this is going to sound weird to say, but we are people too. And we have thoughts and we have feelings, and we have emotions. And that's why I read this story about Meg Turney. And I followed Meg Turney, for a couple of years now. I like her quite a bit. And I don't agree with her on everything politically, obviously, but I've always enjoyed her work. And I can understand this small amount, I should say, at what she might have been going through when this Albuquerque man targeted her. And this is something that I do fear daily, actually. A couple weeks ago, my girlfriend's car was stolen from our house, from our driveway, Christmas night. And when I first discovered it was gone, my first thought was like, oh crap, did somebody find out where I live and took her car? That's where my mind went. I still have no idea if that was true or not. I don't think so, but still. So it says our YouTube celebrity couple hid in the closet late last month, calling 911 while people say a man surged through their home in Austin, armed with a gun and firing at least one round inside their house. As a new father, like I said, that frightens the crap out of me. Less than 10 minutes later, the man was dead in the driveway, and the couple had not been harmed. This news didn't break around. Like, YouTubers freaking talk to each other, right? News will spread of this kind of crap, and it's just getting out now. I mean, they must have been holding on for a while with information, but that is insane. So it says here, Christopher Giles, police described as a single, lonely, and disturbed man, had made the 11-hour drive from Albuquerque, according to documents filed in the Second Judicial Court. And his phone was full of notes suggesting he had developed a fondness for the woman, Megan Turney, and a dislike of her boyfriend, Gavin Free. And I get that, right? I understand that. Like, you look at someone like Meg, who is a cosplayer. Her pictures get usually frequently to are all on Reddit. If she posted like a bikini photo and there's a butt shot, I'll be surfing through Reddit. I'm like, oh, Meg Turney's ass again. Okay, right click, save as. But the point is, like, it's there. It's there. And it's one of those things where it's like, frequent. And so in that moment, the person could sit there and look at that and look at those and just look at what she puts on her YouTube and on her Instagram or Snapchat or whatever, and develop a kind of connection. And the idea here when you do YouTube is they say, oh, it's you. It's you. You're connecting with people. Right? The idea is build your community, talk to your community, talk to these people. And here's the truth, the honest to God truth. I'm sitting in a room in my home, looking into a camera, broadcasting out to over 200 people. I don't know who any of them are. Maybe a handful of them I've talked to. But for the most part, I don't know who's looking back at me right now. I don't know what they're thinking, what's going through their mind. And I'm not trying to insinuate anything. But that is a reality that those of us who do this job, we kind of have to we have to live with. Like 99.9% of people are freaking awesome, but it's that 1%. And I've dealt with nothing as crazy as this, but people who have messaged me, and they've said, like, I think of you like a brother. I love you like a brother. We should hang out. We should go do these things. And I never looked at it as being from a place of a malicious intent, but I definitely limited contact with that person after the fact, simply because I didn't know. I mean, it's like, yeah, man, like, look, that's cool, dog, but I'm a scoot over here sort of thing. But the person, I don't look at him as violent. I never did, but it catches you off guard. And, when we deal with thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, our safety comes into play. And again, I'm being honest as I can be in the situation to let you guys know, like, this is a thing. Now, Turney, who's 30, was made famous for her video blogs on anime, relationship advice, and her life. Free, 29, is a co-host of YouTube's series of slow motion videos. A search of Giles' cellular phone identified various notations identifying Megan Turney and Gavin Free by name. Furthermore, threatening thoughts were recorded by Giles and directed towards Gavin Free, i.e., I want Gavin Free to die alone and with no children. Now, if I were Gavin Free, I would sit there and go, oh, I've heard that before. Yeah, I get that all the time. That's like, I get that all the time. Except, haha, joke's on you, I have a kid. I could still die alone, let's be fair. Anyway, a spokesperson for the Austin Police Department said the case is under investigation, and she could not answer any additional questions about it. But part of that investigation includes assistance from homicide detectives with the Albuquerque Police Department, who served a search warrant on Giles' northwest Albuquerque apartment a couple days after the shooting. According to that search warrant affidavit, around 3:40 a.m. on January 26, Turney and Free awoke to the sound of breaking glass and a gunshot. They hid in their bedroom closet and called 911 while Giles searched their home. Man, like, again, like, that is frightening. Like, I was recently at an event in Los Angeles back in October, and I met a company that puts like, you know, cameras, security cameras, and they're looking for like influencers in order to you know, to work with for, you know, to put the service in. And I have been really contemplating reaching out to them in order to set up some kind of arrangement, some kind of deal, simply because of stories like this. Now that this has happened, I'm learning about it tonight. I just learned about this before going live tonight. I'm like, I got to find their card. I'm gonna reach out to them tomorrow because safety matters. Safety matters. And it's, you know, the last thing I want to hear is like my door break or my window shatter. And then, you know, the sound of somebody trouncing through my house trying to find me because of something I said on the internet angered them, or the opposite. They want to come find me because they really think I have a sweet, sweet voice and they want to slide up in my DMs, aka my butt. Don't want either of that. Now, sorry. While he couldn't find the couple, Giles left, encountering Austin Police Department officers on his way out. The officers found Giles backing out of the driveway in his Lincoln sedan with New Mexico license plate and ordered him to stop. Instead, they heard a single gunshot coming from the car. An officer returned fire. Giles was pronounced dead at the scene, a .45 caliber handgun near his hand. According to the affidavit, Turney and Free were not harmed. In a press briefing on the day of the shooting, Austin Police Department Assistant Chief Troy Gay said that 2 officers were there, but that only 1 fired. A preliminary post-mortem examination by the Travis County Medical Examiner found that Giles may have shot himself, according to the affidavit, but an official ruling on his matter of death is underway. And I would say he probably did shoot himself. You drive 11 hours from Albuquerque to Austin, track down ultimately the girl of your dreams, because that's what she would boil down to. You break in their home, you search it, you can't find them, and then on the way out you encounter the police. It makes sense. It does. It makes sense. Tragic, because you don't want anyone to kill themselves, but it's like, you get it. Giles' family members could not be reached by the Journal. Neither Turney nor Free responded to phone calls. Now, throughout the investigation, the Austin Police Department detectives found chilling evidence about what Giles might have been up to. They said security footage shows him searching the home for the residents, a gun in hand. Based on the footage seen, it was apparent that Giles' sole intent was to cause harm to someone who resides there, the detective wrote in the complaint. And as we could tell from his previous text messages, he wanted to take out Gavin. On Giles' cell phone, they found even more clues, various comments about Free and Turney, according to the affidavit, and more than 1,000 other notes, including his dislike of Free. Yeah, Free was the target here. I would move the hell out of Austin. The detective said it was apparent that Giles had developed a fondness for Turney and yet resented Free for his lifestyle and success. The dude makes cool videos. I mean, I think we all can agree that those videos are freaking awesome. And he deserves a success for creating such a cool product. I'm just saying, I agree with that. Albuquerque Police Department detectives who executed a search warrant in his home in Albuquerque said Giles lived alone and was an avid player of video games and was known for watching YouTube videos that were centered on his hobby. I don't like that line specifically because I think that it does put it can be used as a negative light, a negative thing on gamers. I know a lot of gamers watch my content. I know a lot of gamers watch a lot of my friends' content. And the last thing I want for any one of those people is to be labeled as a potential homicidal maniac because they watch YouTube videos about gaming and they play video games. I'm tired of this type of nonsense being attributed to gamers. Let's be realistic here, but we'll finish this here. Detectives took 2 cell phones, a laptop, 2 tablets, and an Xbox gaming system from his home, saying, based upon the known circumstances and investigative findings, your affidavit is led to believe that evidence related to the planned burglary and homicides of Megan Turney and Gavin Free will be found. Well, I would argue that Gavin, yes. Megan, eventually. If he killed himself as quickly as he did, he would have gotten what he wanted out of her, or made the attempt. And he probably would not have gotten it. Because, to be fair, Meg feels like a fighter. I'm not saying Gavin isn't. I'm just saying, in that moment, fight or flight kind of thing kicks in. So, it's tragic. You know? These are the things I fear myself. I don't let them control my life, but the thought's always there. I'm curious if I go to a meetup and I meet somebody that says, hey, Matt, if I'm in public and I hear that, is it a person who's going to be friendly or are they going to be a foe? Are they going to be wanting to shake my hand and get a picture? Or are they going to want to punch me in the face or shoot me? I mean, that is literally the way that it goes. It's very much those two choices. And trust me when I say it's usually always the former. The latter makes a brief appearance, but you can usually read someone's body language or something, and then as soon as you see it, it goes away. But that is an issue. And I can only, as a fellow content creator on this platform, as a fellow person of the internet, do nothing but give undying support and sympathy and empathy to Megan and Gavin. Because I'm sure those of you who are watching know I was swatted about 2 years ago. And I view swatting as attempted murder. So I get it. I didn't have a crazy man with a gun come to my place. I had someone call the police. And as we've learned recently, that can end in death. So I get it. I really do. And I honest to God hope it never happens again to anyone who undergoes this as a job, as a career, as a hobby. Can't say that's going to happen. Can't say that's going to be the case, but it's what I fear. And that's never going to go away.